So the only way African American have is to come back to Ghana. However, there's poverty. There's nothing you will tell an ordinary Ghanaian that living in Ghana is better for him that he will believe you. No. Africans living in Europe and Africans living in Africa, which one is better? So I just saw a debate on one of the YouTube channel. It's called Web Nation. I think I got the name right here. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yeah. So, but there's a debate between a young man and a fairly elderly person. You understand, on this channel, and the other man, one of them is from UK, who is currently living in Ghana. He's relocated from UK and currently living in Ghana. And one is actually a Ghanaian who is living in Ghana but has also traveled abroad before. And it was quite a hot debate because they are all coming from different perspectives, and each one is trying to say that where they are is a hell and the other place is actually better. So someone who is coming from UK thinks that Ghana was better and is a heaven and a place for comfort. And someone who is also from Ghana is saying that no, Ghana is not best. Ghana is worse. Looking at our economic whatever, UK was better. But I just want to tell you my perspective. I think that we are all living in different worlds. People who are living in Africa, there's pros and cons, and also those in UK also have pros and cons. For those people who are living in Africa or Ghana, we have a problem, and our problem is money. There's no money here. The economic condition here is very bad. That is our major problem: poverty and hunger. But we fail to see the advantages that we have. You understand? We fail to see that we have security here, we have freedom, we have fun, we have a lot of comfort here. But someone who is in UK, he is also having a big problem. His biggest problem there is racism and abuse. And at the same time, he also has advantages, which means that his environment has economic, betterment. There is better economic conditions over there. There are opportunities there. You can actually make a good fortune in terms of what? Finance. So that is due to their pros and cons. So someone who is in UK or Europe is actually not seeing money as the problem. He doesn't see money as a problem. The most important thing to someone in Europe is freedom, safety, protection. That's the most important thing, because to them money is not an issue. But someone in Africa, he doesn't see those things as most important. He doesn't see freedom or safety as the most. No, his own is hunger. Poverty is the most biggest problem for people on Africa. So you, the one coming from UK, there is nothing you tell an African or a Ghanaian. I'm not speaking general, but I'm speaking majority. There's nothing you will tell an ordinary Ghanaian that living in Ghana is better for him that he would believe you. No. He would rather, people in Africa, they agree to give up what they have. They agree to give up the security. They agree to give up the safety. They agree to even give up their life and security just for money, to change their financial position. If not, why would someone in Africa live and use the desert just to go to a white man's country? Why would somebody in Africa live and go and traveling through the Mediterranean Sea, crossing the sea to the other parts to Europe? Why would African be putting his life in danger? Some are dying in the sea, some are being unalived on their way to just financial freedom. Why would Africans? So they are not an ordinary African. There is problem. There is no job security here. There's unemployment. So there's nothing you will tell him that he will listen to you. However, someone in UK, he has the opportunity. He has money. So Ghanaian want to tell him, stay there. But he too is prioritizing his safety and security, his family first. Because that place you can just be, abused just because of your skin or the skin of your color. And every single day we see the police brutality in those countries, how African Americans or Black Americans are suffering. So they have gone through a lot, to the extent that To them, it's not the money. Money is not an issue. Safety and security and peace of mind is their problem. So that is why a lot of them are looking for ways and means to troop back to Africa, because that is better for them. They have a lot of freedom here. They don't go outside and get judged because of the skin of their color. The only time they get judged is when they open their mouth to speak. No, you understand? And if you're an African American and you stay here for a very long time, you get to start speaking the language, and you are well, instilled, or well, how do I say it? Well incubated into African culture. Do you understand? So we are all coming from different world, and that is why it is difficult to advise each other. But one thing we can actually do to bridge the gap is that if you are an African American and you are thinking of coming to, because there's no way you can bridge the gap over there. You don't have control over the police over there. You don't have the control over the government. You are just a subservient, or you are just an ordinary human being that could be, be squeezed like this, and you are gone, and nothing will happen. So the only way African Americans have is to come back to Ghana. However, there's poverty. They may also come to Ghana. They may come back to Ghana and go through the economic hardship that Ghanaians go through. So as an African American, in order to bridge the gap, come to Ghana and also bridge the gap of poverty, is to have a skill that is highly in need in Ghana, or skill that is needed in Europe. You can actually be doing remote jobs that are paying very well. There are a couple of jobs that I've already made videos on, and you can go and check, and African Americans can actually do in Ghana and get paid really well, and they will live their life and enjoy. Some are already working with those kind of works. So you have to find out the jobs or works that you can actually do and get paid well, staying in Africa, because this place is the only place you can just get your freedom, safety, and care. And at the same time, the only challenge, which is economic challenge, you can bridge that by taking some businesses that I've already suggested. But for an African who is thinking of traveling to Europe, you understand, if you go to Europe, you face the abuse. You will also face, the challenges that African Americans already there are facing. So in order to bridge that gap, is as an African living in Ghana or Africa, instead of traveling, I'm not saying don't travel, please don't come and attack me. You can travel and do whatever. But instead of traveling there, it's not all of us that have money to travel. That's another thing. So it's not all of us that have them. Instead of traveling to Europe, is to find a skill that can actually earn you money, and earn you money really well. And one of it is what I'm doing, YouTube channel. You understand? I've already suggested the videos for African American who are living in Ghana they can do, and you as an African who is in Africa can also do those works, and you can check in my videos. So there are a couple of businesses that are really, are paying really well. That is, if only you are ready to give up the sacrifice, to go through the hustle of, putting yourself in a position of earning the fruits of that hustle. Because some or most African, we are trained with an employee mentality. Job. Meanwhile, it's not supposed to be so. You can actually come out from university and start something new. But you have to know that the beginning is a true hustle. But just make sure you have chosen the right field. So the easy way Africans we can bridge this gap is to get a skill that is highly needed. We have IT, a lot of designs, a lot of this IT, careers that you can actually do. You'll be working for people outside the world, and you are getting paid while you are in Ghana. Content creation, copywriting, a lot of those things. So as an African, if you don't want to go to Europe and go and be washing their dishes, you're going to be washing an old woman's, ass. You're going to be, cleaning service. If you don't want to do that, then you have to gym the brain. You have to gym the brain. The brain has to suffer so that the body can rest. But if the brain doesn't suffer, you don't gym the brain, you don't learn, you don't train yourself, you don't learn new skill, then it's the body that will suffer. You definitely have to go back there and go and hustle. So that is the way we can actually bridge, and that is my thought. So thank you very much for your time, and I'm really grateful. If this has been impactful, kindly subscribe to the channel and like the video. Also, don't forget, that we are selling lands here. You can check in the description of this video. We have lands that are actually for sale currently, and you can click view and you contact me. My numbers are also in the description of the video. I'm very grateful and thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.